Folks, there's a lot to do on a Christmas tree farm. Labor is a very important part. Who's going to supply the labor? Is it going to be you doing it all yourself? Is it going to be somebody else? Well, we're going to talk about that now, so let's get right on into it. Okay, farm labor. Where do I get my people? Where do I get my workers? Where's it going to come from? Well, your local FFA at your high school might be one spot that you might want to look. Maybe you need to get to know the FFA coordinator or the instructor there. That might be of some help in getting some names of people to you. There are some farmers I've talked to that have actually had an FFA class come to their farm and perform a certain task. Maybe it's planting trees that during the day that would um, solve the problem for that particular season. Or it might be that you have people that would recommend somebody to you. Maybe it's a young person and I prefer them to be of driving age because obviously they have to have a way to get here. Now I have had some kids that were older, but they still had their parents bring them here. But that's fine. That's as long as they've got means of transportation. But then the word of mouth. Mr. Jones is not going to recommend somebody to you if he knows you and you know him very well. He's not going to recommend somebody to you that he don't think would do the job. Generally, sometimes they get fooled, but most of the time they're gonna come up with somebody that you can work with. But I do think that when you talk to them, I think that you need to explain to them there is work involved. A lot of times, especially the younger kids, they think, oh my, this is great. The experience of working on a tree farm and all the holiday things that come to mind and all the excitement. And there is that, don't get me wrong. But during the off season, there's also a lot of work and there's work during the season. So, they have to understand both sides of the coin when they come here to perform different tasks. Sometimes you can get uh, someone to say, okay, I'm going to bring a team in, we're going to plant. Okay, that's great, but they know what it's going to be like to plant the trees. However, you've also got some that, okay, we bought a Christmas tree from you for several years. We'd like for little Johnny to come to work for you when he gets old enough. That's fine too. But my point is, in saying all that, you're going to need to expect a turnover of your labor force at least every year because high school kids graduate, college people go off to college, people get real jobs or they have real jobs and just helping you on a part-time basis. All these things go into considerations when you're looking at labor. How big do I want to get? When we started out, it was just a few family members and maybe a couple of friends coming in and helping out after work. Well, that worked out fine until we got big enough to where now we will have as many as 20 different people on the farm during our season just to help keep things running. It might be the concessions, it might be the office, it might be what I call the tree slingers, preparing the trees. All this goes into the size of your operation. So if you're small, and I advise you to start out small, then your labor problem will grow with your size. And that way, when you're small and you don't have as big of a labor problem, um, that doesn't discourage you going in because you're going to be crossing these hurdles as you get bigger. But that is a consideration. Now, one of the things I'd like to do is to sort of get the perspective of what from a young person of what it's like to work on a Christmas tree farm. What's it like to do some of the things that we have to do? So I'm going to sit down with one or two of them and ask them some questions and let them tell you exactly how they feel about their work as they help us out here on our Christmas tree farm. So let's get right on into that. Okay, folks, as we were talking about labor on the Christmas tree farm, one of the things I thought would be interesting to do would be to take a couple of my good workers here and sort of give them a little question and answer time. Let you hear from them, not just hearing from me, as to how they like or dislike working on a Christmas tree farm, and it might help you as you are looking at getting labor for your work. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead. We've got Abigail and we've got Marley, and I'm going to sort of fire some questions at them, and they're going to be ready to do all the answers. So here we go. Abigail, can you tell me how you found out about working here at Christmas Tree Farm?
I've known about this farm for a really long time, and my brother has worked here since he was about 15, and I've known through family friends.
Okay, all right. That's family, friends, word of mouth. That's a good avenue for getting some good workers. All right, Marley, tell me about your trip here. How did you happen to get on here at Rawson Acres?
I've known about the farm, and I've been here a couple times before I started working here. And then whenever Abigail was asked to work here, her parents asked if I could too, and then that's just how it started.
Well, it's still going on. It's still going on. These two are going to be working for me, hopefully, for the next couple of years, and they do a real good job. So, speaking of the job that you do, what are some of the tasks that you found over a span of a year, taking spring, summer, and fall and winter, that you're called upon to do? I'm going to start with you first.
In the winter, that's the time that we're open to the public, and you have a couple of jobs. Like, I work in the wreath shop, and I'm a greeter, and Abigail will be a greeter and work in the concession stand sometimes. And people just have different jobs throughout the winter at like whenever we're open.
Mm-hmm.
And
what about springtime? What about like right now and what we've done the last couple of weeks?
well, we plant the trees that we planted last year into the ground, and then we'll order some new little plants, and we'll put those into the pots, and those will be for next year.
Okay, and something that we've just started doing, Abigail, just in the last week. What have we started doing?
We started straightening up some old trees, and we've started mowing.
Okay, that straightened up. Hopefully, it won't last a long time. They'll hopefully stay straight. But the wintertime, the winds and the heavy rains and all do tend to blow them around a little bit. But we go and straighten them up, and the mowing, and the mowing, and the mowing. It goes on all summer. But okay, well, tell me, Abigail. We'll go back to you. The most favorite part of your job?
I would say during season will be greeting the people, being able to tell them what to do and just tell them about us and what all we do. The off season, I would say maybe mowing or just helping out.
Okay, all right. You know, the grader is it's the first actual person on the farm that you meet when you come off the parking lot. And they're the information center of our operation, in that they're going to give the person all the information that they need about where to find the tree they want, where the saw is, just a hodgepodge of different things that they might have. Okay, Marley, tell me about the least favorite job that you have.
I don't really have a least favorite job because most of the jobs here are outside, and I just like being outside and getting dirty.
And they do that from time to time. They do. What's your favorite job? Favorite task? Let's put it that way.
During the winter, mine would be probably the wreath, working in the wreath shop.
Okay.
And during the summer, it would be mowing.
Okay. And you actually worked with one of our experienced wreath makers for the last couple of years, and have learned a lot from her.
Yes.
And that has propelled you on to doing a lot of wreaths on your own, correct?
Yes.
and she does a real good job. She does a good job. Okay, Abigail, this is your claim to fame here. Telling me your favorite job, your favorite task on the job, besides just greeting people.
I would say mowing
Okay,
as well.
you can look back behind you and tell where you've been, right? Hopefully there's no trees on the ground when she goes through, which that's good. Well, in looking for somebody to help work on the farm, I've already told in the video about how we want people to use word of mouth, and that's a good idea, and also to talk to workers and have them talk to other people who might want to work here. So that's sort of word of mouth too. But tell me about how the importance, let's start with Abigail, the importance that you feel like that it would be to find someone that would mesh with the other crew members.
The important is, I would say, their personality and like how they are to the public people. They need to be very open and considerate, and also be able to tell them what to do and like what all is happening here at the farm.
And dealing with the public is 99% pleasant, but once in a while it gets a little bit hard to do, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it does. All right, Marley, what would you think in your mind would be something that when we're looking for a worker that we would need to put that down as something we would have to have?
Being able to talk and communicate with different people on a daily basis and have a good public speaking
Okay.
type thing, and just being able to work with different people and being patient with people.
You know, that is something that comes in handy a lot, is patience. You know, in the society we live in today, everything is rush, 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 and sometimes we have to slow down, and sometimes that calls on some patience to be able to make us slow down, I guess, from time to time. So, last of all, let me ask this question. Do you think this is something, what would you think you would learn in a job like working on a Christmas tree farm? What do you learn that you can take with you the rest of your life?
You could learn like how to deal with the public in different situations, and also take different experiences like driving a tractor, learning how to mow, learn how to do just different stuff around the farm, and you could take that and build on from it.
Okay. That tractor driving, that seems to be popular amongst both of these girls right here. And by the way, they do know how to drive a 70 horsepower tractor. They do a real good job. Now, that didn't come overnight, did it, girl?
No.
It took a lot of patience, took a lot of learning what a clutch is. You know, these girls are young enough, they don't even know what a clutch is when we first started, but they do now. All right, Marley, what's something that you feel like that you could take with you that you learned here at the Christmas Tree Farm, and just to be able to apply it to other things you might do in life?
Definitely the communication part of it, and just being able to adapt with the work and like the different climates and temperatures and everything like that.
You know, one of the things, and Marty hit the nail on the head there, that I have seen in workers that worked here and then left and went on to other jobs down the road, is on their resume they always want to put down working on the Christmas Tree Farm, and it really raises eyebrows to prospective employers when they see that. They say,
as you can see, labor is an important consideration, and it's important to make sure that your labor force is basically happy and they want to work, and that you draw your labor force from the appropriate pool, whether it's through FFA, through the high school work-based program, word of mouth, friends and family. That's how we started, was friends and family. So hope you've gleaned something from that today. And don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do. If this content is of any interest or any help to you, please subscribe. The subscriptions help us. They are of no cost to you whatsoever,
and we do appreciate when you do subscribe. Also, if you've got some comments about, and you've seen our content and you want to know more about a particular subject on Christmas tree farming, let us know, and we'll be happy to try to work that in, if we can, into our future videos. So for now, thank you very much. Have a good week, and we will see you next time on Farming Around the Christmas Tree.